Well, Robert Rodriguez has a new film out, Hypnotic. I found this movie real boring. There's not much to like about this one. And honestly, I just thought this film had dropped the ball big time. Considering with the concept that it had, it could have turned out to be real interesting. But at the end of the day, it's just a movie I frankly just don't really care all that much about. Well, this movie was underwhelming, and considering the cast in this film should have turned out much better than what it ended up being. So the story of this one is that a detective, he's looking for his daughter, and then he comes across a man who is a hypnotic, who has the ability to get people to do what they want. And well, from there is one of the most boring films I've seen so far this year. This sci-fi thriller, it really didn't do much for me. The plot was all over the place. The dialogue was pretty bad. Now the concept is intriguing, but the execution was so clunky. And it was to a point where I was frustrated with where this movie was going simply because the script was written poorly and the characters weren't properly developed where I actually cared what was going on. And not only that, but a lot of the scenes in this one, they were rushed, so the ideas weren't properly developed to tell a coherent story, in my opinion. This movie is a mess, and that's a shame because I really do like Robert Rodriguez movies such as From Dusk to Dawn, Desperado, and Machete. And one thing I would say is that while acting is not horrendous, it's far from superior. Ben Affleck, he's fine here. He's not particularly disastrous, but his character lacks the real motivation to find his daughter. Like, where's the passion, man? Where's the rage? I thought this character, Danny Rourke, was supposed to look for his daughter, but I just didn't see how he could be more focused when I didn't see that emotion coming from this character. Alice Braga, she plays a mysterious woman here, and her job is to help Danny out. And without spoiling anything, there are some reveals later on that actually made me kind of mad. I was like, what? This film tries too much to be like Inception. But unlike Inception, this feels like a weak attempt at a story which explains how all this is happening and what's going on, but it doesn't explain why. I will say the visuals, they looked alright. Sure, it's a cheap intimidation compared to other movies from Robert Rodriguez, but this film, it does have some entertaining moments here and there, but for the most part, I was bored with this film. I didn't care about the characters. And then to make matters worse, William Fichtner, he playing the villain here, not that great of a bad guy to be honest. He's pretty forgetful. And he really doesn't do anything noteworthy or anything like astonishing that made me say, wow, that was nice. Most of the time, I would just look at my watch, waiting when the movie was going to be over. Because this one, yeah, it's that bad. Now, is this a film I would recommend? Honestly, no. But if you're a fan of Robert Rodriguez movies, then maybe you'll like this more than I did. I mean, I tried to get involved with the story, but I wasn't compelled by this whatsoever. And just the lack of great character development really hurt this film in the long run. And when it comes down to it, this is one film that I'll probably say maybe is one of the worst of the year. Because honestly, I did not have a good time with this one. I'm giving this film a 5 out of 10. Yeah, a dumpster fire. And the thing is, this film collapses in on itself after the first act. This was a huge disappointment, and quite frankly, there are far better sci-fi films out there. I'd rather rewatch than to ever come back to this again. And it's just a film that had so much potential, but ultimately had dropped the ball. Nonetheless though, a very boring film where a lot does happen, it just don't make a whole lot of sense. And that is my review of Hypnotic. Okay, leave your comments down below in the section and let me know what you think about this movie if you have seen it. Alright, this is Slim Guy 172 saying peace out.